Hi there, and today I'm going to share with you one song that you are sure to dance around the Christmas tree to this year if you are celebrating Christmas in Denmark. Stay tuned. Hi there and welcome back. If you're new to my channel, my name is Kelly and I'm an American who lives in Denmark. And I have actually been spending Christmases in Denmark on and off since 2007, which was my very first time experiencing a Danish Christmas. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. But before we get started, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel. I would love to have you along for more videos. And I would really also appreciate if you could ring the bell to get notifications whenever I post a new video. Today's video is also sponsored by Castleware Baby. It's a sustainable clothing company that makes pajamas for babies and toddlers, and I will be telling you more about them a little bit later in the video. Now, in 2007, my husband and I were dating, and I came to Denmark to meet his family. And it was my very first experience with a Danish Christmas. And I have to say there are a lot of differences between an American Christmas, from what I know, and a Danish Christmas. You can't say all American Christmases are the same because the USA is a very large country. And people on one end celebrate it differently from people on another end. And people with different backgrounds celebrate it differently. For example, my family is mostly German, so we have a lot of German traditions in our celebrations. But people who maybe lived in the South, maybe they have French background, or maybe they have a Mexican background, they might also celebrate it differently. But from my experience, someone who grew up with a lot of traditions that come from Germany, I would say that it was a very big culture shock to celebrate Christmas for the first time in Denmark. But I have to say, Christmas is one of my favorite holidays here in Denmark. And one reason is because of the tradition that happens on Christmas Eve, which is dancing around the Christmas tree. Now, when I first got to my husband's parents' house and I saw the tree was kind of in the middle of the room, I was a little curious about that because a lot of times in the US, growing up, our tree would always be kind of against a wall or maybe in a corner because we would never need to go all the way around it for any reason. It would be there kind of as a decoration, and then we would put presents underneath. But in Denmark, it's in the middle of the room or kind of pulled out from the wall so that you can dance around it on Christmas Eve. And that's one thing that I absolutely love now, especially that I have children, is that we get to do that all together as a family. My very first Danish Christmas was with all adults, and we still danced around the Christmas tree, which was quite an interesting thing to experience. Now, when you go around the Christmas tree, you all hold hands. You're kind of walking in a circle. But as you're walking, you're singing Christmas songs. A lot of the songs that you will sing as you're going around and you're kind of walking, because a lot of people are trying to read at the same time, you're reading from a songbook. This is an example of a songbook. Maybe you have this one, maybe you have one that's similar to it if you are celebrating Christmas in Denmark. This is called a julesangbog, Christmas songbook. And inside they have a lot of different songs that you can sing. From what I can tell from this, a lot of them are religious songs, songs that you might sing in church. But at the end of this book, there are a lot of kids songs, ones that talk about Nissa. I think in the US we sing songs that tend to be about Santa Claus, but they sing songs about these, we can't call them elves because to a Dane they're not an elf, but we don't have a word for a Nissa. So we might refer to them as an elf because we don't have anything else. Maybe we would call it a fairy, but that's not right. Or if we call it an elf, that's not right. If we call it a gnome, maybe a gnome? I don't know. So we're just gonna refer to them as Nissa. So when you're singing a lot of children's Christmas songs, they tend to have Nissa in them. But I'm gonna go over the shortest one from the songbook, but it repeats. And it's fun when you're going around and singing this. You're walking at a pretty good pace, But the more you sing the song, the faster you walk. And then you get to a point when you want to start the song over again, you turn directions. Mostly because you don't want to get dizzy and fall over. Makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to teach that one to you. We're going to go over it slowly. And then we're going to pick up the pace to give you an idea of what it sounds like when you're singing it a little bit faster. But before we do that, I would like to start by talking about today's sponsor. I received this package in the mail. Give you a little peek of what it is that you can get from Castleware Baby. I got a little jammy set. And what I love about these, I think maybe it's very American, but they're the kind that have the little feet on them. And they have these dots on the bottom so the kids don't slip. These are something that I really miss that I don't really see that much of in Denmark. You know, a lot of times people will talk about the pajamas that my children used to wear when they were little, and they all had the little feet on them. And it's something that I love. But one thing that I absolutely, okay, there's many things, but one thing that I really love about Castleware Baby is that the zippers start on the bottom instead of on the top. A lot of other jammy sets will start on the top. And then when you have to maybe change a diaper in the middle of the night, a lot of the baby is exposed and cold. And cold babies are cranky babies. So I always loved the fact that the zipper was on the bottom. So that way when you want to change a diaper, only the bottom part is exposed. And so the kids don't complain so much. But the material is so soft. It's so warm and fuzzy. They also use all natural dyes and organic cotton. So this is so good for baby skin. You think of that babies, their skin is like a sponge in a way because it absorbs a lot of things. You might not know that, but it's so important that when you are picking clothing for your child, especially, you know, little guys that are going to be sitting in maybe jammies for a long period or taking a lot of naps, that they're wearing clothing that is good for their skin. And this is a company that I have supported for the past 8 years, more than that even. And I'm just really excited to be giving this little jammy set to a really special little guy this year for Christmas. So I'm gonna leave the information down below for Castleware and you can check them out. If you are ordering from Denmark, it is very fast ordering. It gets here very fast. And they also have a lot of other accessories that are nice for baby. Thank you to Castleware for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to learning a Christmas song. All right, so we're going to get started with the song now. And again, I picked the shortest one. Okay, so that's a plus right there. It's also not containing a lot of weird Danish vowels. It is just something that you have to get used to saying and be able to say fast. Also, it is so much fun. This is one that, especially if you have children, you are most definitely going to be singing this song around the Christmas tree. Maybe you are a foreigner living in Denmark and your kids go to Danish school and they get all this Danish exposure and you want to have kind of a Danish Christmas moment with them. This is something that you easily can do to kind of feel connected. Because I know my kids know this song, and it's not because I taught it to them, and it's not because my husband taught it to them. Chances are they learned it in school. So I'm here to school you right now so you can learn it and sing it with your kids. So let's go. So first off, I'm going to put the words on the screen. I'm going to say it slowly so you know how it's pronounced. Again, I'm a foreigner speaking Danish, but I've got this. This one I've got. One thing though to know about this song is that I'm going to have the text in 2 different colors. That's because the text is actually broken up into 2 parts. You'll sing the first part, repeat it, then you'll sing the second part and repeat it. So that way you know where the break in the song is. Here we go. Nu det jul igen, og nu det jul igen, og julen var lige til påske. Nu det jul igen, og nu det jul igen, og julen var lige til påske. Nej, det er ikke sandt, for indimellem kommer festen. Nej, det er ikke sandt, for indimellem kommer festen. And I completely apologize for my voice. Woo! Somebody needs to get a little bit of water there. Okay, let's try this again. Now, as I said, that's how you're going to sing it as you're going around in the circle. And maybe as you are getting comfortable with the song, you should practice by walking around. because then the movement might trigger something in your brain to say, hey, I should be walking during this song. And that way, when you start to speed up, you don't think, oh my gosh, wait a minute, I'm not prepared for walking fast and trying to think of these words at the same time. Give it a practice. Have this play a couple of times and listen. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna bring it up a notch. I'm gonna put the words back on the screen and we are going to say it faster, okay? Nu det jul igen, nu det jul igen, och julen var lite påska. Nu det jul igen, nu det jul igen, och julen var lite påska. När det icke sen på en emellan kommer festen. När det icke sen på en emellan kommer festen. Okay, I'm an American. My Danish sucks, pretty much, right? But I can do this. You can do this, okay? If you're a Dane and you're like, oh my gosh, that's funny, we can sing this. Yeah, we know, okay? Do you like this song? What do you think about it? Do you like to go around the Christmas tree? Are you an adult and you're still like, we gotta sing Nu är det jul igen? Let me know. Tell me a little bit about your Danish Christmas experience. Anybody, tell me about your Christmas experience, especially if it's singing this song. Okay, but again, you're going to be kind of not really running because you're holding on to people. And little side note, you may be that type of person. We're that type of person. We're traditional Danes in this house, American. But we're traditional Danes in this house when it comes to Christmas Eve. We put candles on our tree. So you're not going to go crazy to the point where you're going to be moving that Christmas tree or bumping into it or anything, because it could be a fire hazard, friends. You could catch yourself on fire. I've never seen it done. We've never had any issues with the candles. I know that some Americans might say, oh my gosh, that's dangerous. I guess so. Well, anything can be dangerous, right? You could poke your eye out with a fork. But keep in mind, you may have a Christmas tree with lit candles, full-fledged lit candles, as you are walking around it. So be mindful about what you're doing. Just be careful, everybody, okay? So let's try it one more time. Maybe I'll try to pick a speed that is a little bit in between. You practice it with me. And if you've got any tips for me, anything that you'd like to mention, especially if you're Danish, put it in the comments below. Do you do anything like this in your tradition and you're not Danish? I would love to know about that, because as an American, I've never danced around the Christmas tree. Yes, we have that song, Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, but I don't think this is what they had in mind. So if you've got some Christmas traditions, let me know where you're from. Let me know about them in the comments. I love reading stuff like that. Okay, one more time with Nu det jul igen in a kind of a medium speed. Here we go. Nu är det jul igen, och nu är det jul igen, och julen var lite påska. Nu är det jul igen, och nu är det jul igen, och julen var lite påska. När det icke sen för en emellan kommer festen. När det icke sen för en emellan kommer festen. And there you go. Now you can just practice a few times if you're someone like me who wants to have a more, I don't know, traditional Danish Christmas. Thanks for coming along on this video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have a whole bunch of people on here who are like me, who are really interested in Denmark and obviously seeing it from the eyes of a foreigner. Be sure to check out some of my other videos and my Christmas playlist to find out what I like about Denmark, different things that we can find here in Denmark, and extra stuff like that. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let YouTube know that we are interested in what Danish traditions are out there. And thanks again to Kesselware Baby for sponsoring this video. I hope that you are enjoying your Christmas season. And as always, take care. Merry Christmas and Glædelig Jul.